Bulavinaka, and welcome to the first episode of the FNUPulse, the Fiji National University's video podcast, where we talk with experts about issues that affect us, not just as young people, not just as Fijians, but people across the Pacific region and the world. Topics such as climate change, indigenous rights, traditional and modern medicine, law, navigation, and engineering. Our guest today is no stranger in the law fraternity, none other than Miss Anna Rokomokoti. She is the head of school for the School of Law here at the Fiji National University. Most of her classes are based here, right here at the home of the university in the Nasinu campus. And if you have not heard, let me tell you, we have just won, Team FNU has just won the recent Inter-Tertiary Moot Competition, and we are so proud of our team. And today we'll be discussing about Team FNU's journey at the Moot Competition and what is the future of the School of Law here at FNU. So Bulavinaka ma'am, nice to have you in our studio for the first ever episode. We'll jump straight into it. So congratulations on your team's victory at the 2024 Inter-Tertiary Moot Competition. And can you share with us what this win means for the School of Law, for our students and for the university as a whole?
Thank you, Crystal, for having me here. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Yes, definitely. It means so much. It means a lot. Definitely, it's a moment where the profile of the law school has been lifted to another level, and the morale of the students have been boosted, and we're all inspired by the win. And certainly, a milestone has been achieved, and at the same time, expectations has also been lifted on the school to continue the success. So as head, I feel a lot of pressure whilst I'm enjoying the moment. So that's definitely something that I suppose the season the school is in right now, a moment of joy.
Right.
And I know that FNU has also felt the same vibes. And, speaking of vibes, there was a moment where the students during the preparation stages were not as inspired, I suppose, but challenged with the need to prepare for such an important competition. So in the preparations, there's so much that's involved. There's so much intensity. There's so much pressure. The win also means that the manner in which the students have prepared themselves works.
Right.
When you enter a moot competition, you're given a set of facts, and with a set of facts, you have to make sure that you are very well versed with the intricate details of the facts, and only then you'd be able to identify the legal issues. And you have to be very skilled in that, because if you fail to identify the correct legal issues, it would lead you to the wrong conclusion. So it's a very meticulous process.
With a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and at the same time, you don't have time. So time management is certainly something that they've had to, I suppose time is something that they've had to manage properly and effectively and efficiently. So the process is also multi-layered and multifaceted. And we can only imagine the pressure that the students are under.
Right.
And in identifying legal issues, you got to make sure that you got the right statutes, the right laws, landmark cases. And in addition to that, the students have to ensure that they apply the law correctly. And a lot of analysis, a lot of thinking, a lot of discussions. And of course, whatever conclusions they came up with was it had to be ensured that it was just and fair. So it's from a bird's eye view, you think it's all smooth sailing, but when you get into the inner workings of preparations of a moot competition, it's not as smooth as you would think. So, credit to the students for putting their heads together and ensuring that that they did their best, hence the win.
Yeah.
So I think also I need to say that this achievement basically means for us in terms of trying to achieve excellence in the area of advocacy and research. This win is a small step towards, or a small and significant step towards that goal, and I'm sure the students recognize that, and so do I.
Right. Yeah. And it's been a very joyous occasion on campus here at Nasinu campus. And I believe the alumni, our law graduates who are now part of the law fraternity, are also very happy to know that, their alma mater, FNU, has won the Inter-Tertiary Law Competition. And we're so proud of our students, all of them. Which leads me to the second question. So mooting, which we've been talking about since we started, is often seen as a crucial part of legal training. Most of us don't even know what mooting is. So maybe you can tell us what mooting is and how it helps to shape the future careers of law students.
Mooting is basically mock trials where advocates, solicitors, working with barristers, in the Fijian context, legal practitioners have the opportunity, or for law students, for that matter, in a moot court, have the opportunity to dissect a given set of facts and identify the laws or the legal issues, identify the laws, the correct laws, and apply it, and present their arguments to a judge who sits and decides on whether he or she will accept it or not. So it's effectively a mock trial.
Okay. So it's sort of like the stuff that we see on legal shows on TV, but like in a practical manner for students to put their theory to test.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it is when you're an observer, but when you're a participant, a litigator or an advocate, there's a lot of pressure. But students come with different strengths and weaknesses. There's some who naturally have the gift of advocacy, but there's some who pick it up along the way in the 4 years of training. Students bloom at different times. You could, so I suppose a job as a mentor, as a lecturer, is to build on the strengths, and not focus too much on weaknesses. But having said that, advocacy, the area of advocacy and research, is something that lies at the heart of a moot competition or a moot, and its importance, the important role that it plays in training a law student is exactly that, to be more, not only vocal, but to speak with the right facts, the right laws, and the right application of the law, which should naturally lead to the right conclusion. Additionally, I think it's important to remember that a moot is effectively a legal issue that's subjected to a debate before a court or a mock court. And it's ordinarily part of an academic exercise.
Right.
So in all instances, in a moot, you expect to have or be given a hypothetical scenario. So that's something important I think I should mention. And it lies, again, at the heart of a moot.
Wow. So those of you who did not know what moot was, now you know what it is. Thank you so much for shedding light. I mean, I myself didn't know properly what mooting was, even though I have friends in the law fraternity. So thank you so much for shedding light on that. We'll go for a short break right now, but when we come back, we'll talk about some of the challenges that the team faced, and we'll also talk about how law and Indigenous Day coincides. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You are with the FNUPulse, the Fiji National University's video podcast, where we talk about hard-hitting issues that affect our people. Now, with us today, we have the head of our School of Law here at the Fiji National University, and we're talking about our recent Inter-Tertiary competition win. We are so proud of our students, as I've mentioned earlier, and now we're going to talk about what are some of the challenges that they faced during their preparation, also during the competition as well, and how did they overcome them. I mean, this is something that I would definitely like to know, because, you know, when it comes to times of competition, and their students as well, they have their own personal life, they have their studies to juggle, and then coming to a competition as well. So I would definitely want to know what were some of the challenges they faced, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Crystal, for that question. I was very grateful that at least the inter-tertiary competition was held at the beginning of the semester.
Yes.
So there wasn't much pressure on the students, even though there were lectures and tutorials to attend to. However, having said that, they did manage to manage their time well, and get together as a team and thresh out whatever that needed to be threshed out.
Yeah.
But going to the heart of the moot, of course, when you're talking about consumer credit legal issues, there are things like product liability, privacy rights, unfair business practices, and fraud, misrepresentation, and other business-consumer interaction issues. So it's not necessarily an easy area of law.
Right.
So the demand was huge. As I've said earlier, they've come with their different strengths and weaknesses. So the challenge is to manage. One is the different talents that they have.
Yeah, because one of the team members could be like really strong in speaking, and the other one would be really shy.
Yeah.
So just figuring out how they work well together would have been quite a challenge as well.
Yeah, that could be true. But in this case, you had three strong speakers. It's not a problem with being strong in speaking. It's it's the ability to know what to speak.
Right, that's right.
So what we focus on is building on their strengths and not necessarily ignoring the weaknesses, but managing them to the point that they all work together effectively and produce results.
Yeah, and amazing results, because we ended up winning the competition.
Definitely. And of course, they're also of different characters. So I found myself, giving them pep talks, so to speak, every now and then. But the whole idea was to encourage them and tell them, listen, above yourself, above me, there's FNU interests.
Right.
And you have to win. You must win.
Yes.
And they just went ahead and
and just
won.
outshined everybody.
Yeah.
And we're probably one of the youngest law schools in Fiji, if I may say.
That's correct.
And for us to win such a huge competition, it definitely shows that the team worked super hard and had such wonderful mentors as well to overcome these challenges. And so we're so grateful to you and your team as well for the hard work that you've put in. We'll go into our fourth question for the day, and this is very important.
Sorry, could I just add something?
Yes,
something very important. I think you must give credit to the USP and Uni of Fiji as well, because there have been longer serving universities and longer serving law schools, and they were courageous enough to take us on, I suppose, for lack of a better word, but they accepted us as worthy adversaries, and the respect and professionalism that was displayed from all teams is something that is to be admired. So despite the fact that we're the youngest and the smallest law school, did not necessarily put us at a disadvantage when it came to the actual moot. Of course, the public would have different expectations, but I thought I should mention that.
Yes, I agree. We would also like to thank USP and UniFiji for allowing us to, because I believe UniFiji started this competition a few years back. It was launched at the campus, and it's been an ongoing thing, and we've had both of them winning their, in their respective years. But this year, I think they were worthy opponents, but for some reason, I think we had the X factor this year.
Definitely.
So moving on to our fourth question. This is in regards with International Day of World's Indigenous Peoples, which we are celebrating today on the 9th of August. So with the day being observed today, does the Fiji National University School of Law incorporate or include Indigenous legal perspectives into our curriculum and our mooting activities as well?
Yes, we have some courses such as Law in the Pacific and Land Law that is offered in semester 1 and 2 of the third year. So they do cover issues that are unique to the indigenous people. So in moot, we have hypothetical cases where the focus is on land law or customary law. And there have been instances where there's been clashes between customary law and criminal law, or customary law and civil law to an extent or two. So in these hypothetical scenarios, the students have an opportunity to do research and advocate accordingly before judges. So it's been done before. I mean, we in our past moot competitions, internal moot competitions, Indigenous issues have been
discussed
and talked about.
So I believe then the future of Indigenous law in Fiji is very well taken care of, because it's incorporated in our curriculum here at the Fiji National University.
Correct.
So in terms of, say, customary land laws, we're talking about land issues that are faced by the natives of a particular country. And this is not just pertain to Fiji, but the Pacific as well?
Our focus is mainly on Fijian land law. Of course, there are segments of the courses that touches other Pacific Island land laws, but the ultimate focus is on the Itoke Lands Act, the Itoke Lands Trust Act, and related legislations and case laws. So the focus is entirely on the manner in which the Fijian Itoke lands is governed and regulated.
So one thing that we can guarantee is that when our students graduate from the Fiji National University School of Law, they are well versed with customary law as well as land law. And they are also well versed with law in the Pacific, which deals with customary law, is a part of customary law. And one thing that I would like to say and highlight here, which I have learned today, is that land laws in Fiji are completely different from the property laws that we study in Australia, in New Zealand, and other countries. And this is something that we here at FNU are proud that our students are learning from the best in the field. Stay tuned with us as we head into our final segment, where we were talking about the future of the School of Law here at the Fiji National University. Bulavanaka, and welcome back to the final segment of the first ever episode of FNU's video podcast, the FNUPulse. Today with us we have our head of school for the School of Law, Ms. Anna Rokomokoti, and we were discussing about the 2024 Inter-Tertiary Moot Competition, which FNU won, and we are so excited and so proud. Now, we are talking about the future of the law school. So looking forward, ma'am, what are the School of Law's goals for future competitions and its overall strategy for maintaining excellence in legal education in Fiji?
Thank you very much, Crystal. Certainly there is a plan for FNU to host the next Inter-Tertiary Moot Competition in 2025. So that's something that we're looking forward to. As for our students, we do have internal moot competitions that's been happening, and that is something that we plan to continue with. If we are going to produce practice-ready legal practitioners, advocates, practice-ready graduates, then we have to make sure that their skill in research and advocacy is in the best shape or form. So FNU Law School believes that this consistent moot competitions, internal moot competitions that we have, is a pathway towards that goal. So that's where we're at. And the moot competitions offers opportunities to first-year students, from first-year students to final-year students, law students, to participate and compete amongst themselves. So in that regard, we plan to ensure that we maintain consistency in the internal moot competitions. In terms of the law school, we have been a department for 10 years under the College of Business, under the School of Accounting and Law, in the College of Business, Hospitality and Tourism Studies for 10 years. And now we are moving across to the College of Humanities, Education and Law as a school, and approval in principle has been given for us to forge partnership with the Department of Governance and Ethics. So it's going to be called the School of Law, Governance and Ethics. So for the law school to be lifted in that way and elevated is certainly another milestone, knowing that we have been around as a department for 10 years. So it's a form of recognition from the university for our contribution towards the field, towards academia. So we're excited about the move, and we are expected to be seated with the College of Hospitality, Education and Law by January 2025. So that's moving forward, and of course, forging partnership with governance and ethics opens a greater window of opportunities to pursue and collaborate on a lot more issues. So that's in a nutshell the future for the law school.
So, if I'm correct, so before the school was just under the department.
Was the Department of Law under the School of Accounting and Law.
and now it's going to be a fully fledged school,
Yes.
under the College of Humanities and Education, and now it's going to have law added as
Yes.
well. So from chair, it will become Chell.
So I'm very grateful to Council and Senate for doing that, because it gives us more visibility and more presence. So we're really excited about it. And I think I should add that another area that we focus on with our students is to ensure that they are consistently up to date with the legislations, the current legislations and the current case laws, and with our employers or the legal profession, they expect to have practice-ready law graduates. So with minimal supervision, but even though lawyers, in your first few years as a lawyer, you are expected to be mentored and supervised directly by a senior legal practitioner. So that's something that we try and work towards, producing a practice-ready law graduate.
So thank you so much once again, ma'am, for joining us today. Today here on the first ever episode of the FNUPulse, we talked about our victory at the 2024 Inter-Tertiary Moot Competition. We talked about the challenges that our team faced. We also talked about the role of mooting in legal education. For those of you who didn't know, mooting is basically a mock trial where you learn the art of advocacy and research. We also talked about how the International Day of the World's Indigenous People, which is celebrated today, is honored through our the courses that are available at our School of Law. So we learned about customary law, we learned about land laws, and we also learned about property laws. We also talked about the future aspirations for the School of Law. And those of you who did not know, the school was a department at the College of Business, Hospitality and Tourism Studies, but we'll be moving now to the College of Humanities, Education and Law. So big congratulations to all our students and our lecturers and staff at the School of Law, and also to all the graduates who are now part of the law fraternity in Fiji. So ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned to us as we come to you every week. You will come to view more episodes of our video podcast known as the FNUPulse. Stay tuned to our social media platforms for more details of to when and where and who our new guest is going to be. Thank you so much for taking out your time to join us. We look forward to your support. Vinaka.